Hi everyone. Today is Easter Sunday, April 5th, 2026. I'm Crystal Dawn Hill, and today I just wanted to come on and first of all wish everyone a happy Easter if you celebrate, a happy spring, and I wanted to talk about some recent experiences that I've gone through that is new to me along my journey. So yesterday morning, I woke up and I was laying there thinking about all my different past relationships. And I didn't really let my mind engage. I just kind of observed all of the thoughts that were going through my head, no matter how random or meaningless they seemed to be. And as I continued observing, I noticed that they seemed to all be kind of tying together to tell a story. And as I was thinking about all this, I realized that that's a new level to where when we reach that level, we've ascended to a point where we begin to understand the meaning behind all of the seemingly separate events and experiences that we have along the way. So, as I was thinking about all this, I got the idea to do a series. And in this series, I want each video to be about the separate things that I've experienced along the way, and then to kind of have my audience kind of follow along. And then at the end of the series, they'll realize that this is how the journey is meant to go. And not that everybody's going to be interested in my specific details, but if you can follow along and use my journey as an example, it will help you understand more how to navigate your own journey. And that's my goal, is to help others by using my experiences and sharing everything with them. So when I finally got up after laying there probably 30 minutes or so, I kind of wanted to do this video then, and I had other things, household chores and stuff that I needed to do, and to think about my dinner plans for today. And so I got all my chores taken care of and everything, and when I got up this morning, I knew that I had to do this video. And, you know, I have a lot of videos. I have like over 500 videos on my channel. And this might come as a surprise because of that, but I am a little camera shy. And I do get a little bit nervous sometimes when I'm doing videos. Not all the time. If I'm feeling extremely heightened in my energy and I know like I'm channeling and it just flows through me, then I'm great. There's, you know, I don't have even a little bit of feeling of being nervous. But when it's more structured, then, you know, I always know that it's coming more out of my intellect than it is from my higher self, and so I do get a little bit camera shy. But with that being said, I kind of put it off until it's now like almost 6 o'clock in the evening, but it worked out because I went ahead and got my dinner made and got that over with and everything. And I really don't have anything else to do except clean up a couple of pans and just relax for the rest of the evening. So I thought this would be a really good time to come on and to share this and to maybe start out with a little bit of an introduction to the first part. So what I think that is going to entail is actually how my thought processes started out yesterday when I woke up. And that was my childhood. It had to do with my parents, my grandparents, my stepdad, and how all those different people played a role in helping me along my journey, even if at the time it seemed to be in a negative way. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, I've always been intuitive, and I've always been interested in mystical things. And my mom sort of discouraged me from believing that my gifts and abilities were real. And that was the beginning of my awareness, because why would someone try so hard to convince someone that something they experienced wasn't real unless it was? Because most parents, if their children are talking about childish things, the parents just kind of dismiss it, or just blow it off or whatever, or they might listen attentively and say, oh, okay, that's interesting, but in their mind they're saying, whatever. But because my mom worked so diligently to discourage me from believing in my gifts, it had a poignant impact on me and sort of reinforced my belief in my experiences. And if anything, it made me pay even closer attention, because I was confused. I was like, I know what I'm experiencing, so why is my mother telling me that it's not real? And so that created a sort of rift in my internal experience, where I was torn, like I needed to look at it more closely to actually figure out what the truth was. And so I think that's what set me on the trajectory to be a truth seeker, and to get to the bottom of whatever it was that I was experiencing, if it wasn't real or valid. And as I look back over my childhood, I can see very clearly that all the people in my life were playing a role in moving me forward, even though, like my mother, if that wasn't their objective, if the objective was to get me more grounded in regular everyday life. So that's kind of what I wanted to begin this series talking about. And I honestly, as I'm thinking about it, don't remember the next part after that, but it was at that time that I started feeling my divine masculine's energy around me. And I think that's kind of what jump started me to get up and do everyday 3D grounded stuff, because recently I have been um, whenever I feel his energy, instead of allowing myself to become immersed in the energy, I kind of liberate myself from it. And that's really had quite an interesting effect on me, and I believe on our connection. And it almost makes me feel like it's putting him in more of a, not really a chasing energy, but it's kind of piquing his curiosity and what I can feel. And again, you know, as if you've been following me at all, my posts or my videos, I really don't even know what's going on with him, or if he's okay. But I feel like he is, because he's much younger than me, and the energy feels extremely different than it did before he was born. And that's a whole different conversation that really deserves, you know, a whole video, if not its own series, because the whole thing is just so extraordinary. But for the sake of this conversation, I just wanted to say that his energy does feel very different now than before he was born, when he was on the other side. So that's why I feel like he's still here on earth as a human, and his energy and my energy are engaging in the higher dimensions. So anyway, it's been interesting when I pull away from the energy, because I'm not in running mode. I'm just observing the energy rather than allowing myself to be kind of sucked in by it, if you know what I mean. And that has kind of afforded me the ability to see more about my own personal journey that I didn't realize that I still needed to give attention to. I don't need to heal from it. I don't need to understand it, but I need to give it the attention and due process that I never gave it when it was going on, because of so much trauma and confusion and conflict that I was experiencing. Or you could say, like, the polarities, you know, like I was describing with my mom. Like, I knew that I was having this experience, but yet I was being influenced to believe that it wasn't real. So that's how I've been experiencing life, is seeing both sides of everything, but not realizing that that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, like, we see things as either good or bad, or negative or positive. And we try to figure out which it is. Like, is it really something horrible, or is it really something good? And I'm just not seeing that good side of it. Well, it's both. Everything is both. Everything has its positive and negative polarity. Whether it's experiences or people or events that take place in your life, or, you know, your life circumstances, you know, like challenges and dilemmas that you go through, or predicaments that you find yourself in. It all has its positive and negative side. And the beautiful part is that when you set out on a journey of self-discovery, you begin to see the beauty beneath the polarity. It's purity and wholesomeness and bliss And when you begin to see that and you begin to experience it in every situation in your life, the negative experiences that you go through seem worth it, because you know that it's pushing you to the next level. And so that's how I'm able to look back and see all of my childhood experiences as not positive necessarily, because they were horrible, to be quite frank, but to see them as contributing to my growth and to getting me here where I am now, which by society's standards, I'm, worse off than I've ever been in my life. But it's by spiritual standards, I'm better off than I've ever been in my life, because number one, and this is number one, it's first and foremost the most incredible, miraculous experience that I could ever have imagined, was meeting my divine masculine and knowing that he's real, but also everything that came along with that. The clarity of why life happens the way it does. The sense of peace of knowing that you're living your life the way you're meant to live it and you're on the right path. That's the greatest gift that meeting him could have ever given me, because all of my life, as I said, I wondered if my experiences were real. And even though I hadn't met him in his current incarnation, I had already been experiencing his energy within me. And I knew that it was more than just me, because it was so polar opposite of me. But then once I met him, it's like everything made sense. Everything in my whole life made sense. So that's part of it too. And I have that peace and that sense of validation that I wasn't imagining in all those years. I wasn't making it up in my head. And I wasn't just conjuring it up to alleviate myself of experiencing my reality, which, was not very pleasant at all. It was all real. And when I met him, I knew that it was all real. And if we can just keep following that intuition within us and following that stream of energy that seems to be leading us along our path, we do reach this point where it all makes sense. And there was something that I had said a few moments ago that I had this little light bulb and like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. When I was laying in bed yesterday and thinking about doing this video, it was the mystical side, and I kept talking and lost my train of thought of what that was about. But I know it'll come back to me, and when it does, I will do another video and discuss that. But for now, I just want to thank everyone for following along. And as you all know, I am very big on following my intuition and doing videos when I feel guided. So I don't just, try to push them out 2 or 3 times a week. I just go along with the flow, and if I feel guided to do one, I do. And if not, then, sometimes some time will pass in between the first one and the second one. But I do know that this is something that I'm committing to, that I'm feeling guided. And so when it's time to post the next one, then I will definitely, have more in mind of exactly what I want to share. But for today, I just wanted to just put this out there and share my ideas and kind of how this idea was originated, and a little bit about what was going through my mind yesterday when I was laying there. So if any of this resonates, or if you would like to discuss your own experiences with how all the different events in your life have made more sense after meeting your divine partner, please by all means share in the comments or reach out to me here or on my Facebook page. So thank you all very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.